We used to think we are at the mercy of natural hazards. Before 2012, disasters with massive loss of lives happened almost every year. In 2004, floods and debris flows killed more than 500 people in Infanta and Dingalan. Then there was the unprecedented Mindoro flood event. A debris avalanche and debris flows killed thousands in Ginsaogon, Southern Leyte, and Mayon slopes. And the Typhoon Frank floods happened in 2008. Even Metro Manila was not spared from Ondoy. Then there were the Pepeng floods in 2009 and the 2011 Pedring and Kel floods in Pampanga. And in 2011, Sendong caused thousands of deaths and devastation in western Mindanao. After 2012, mainly because of the Pre-Disaster Risk Assessment or PDRA, many potential disasters were averted. Examples include the Habagat events of 2012, 2013, and 2014, the flood in CDO a year after Sendong, Ruby storm surges which washed out 1,664 houses in Daram alone, Butuan floods during Agaton, massive floods in Tagoloan brought by Senyang, Ineng floods in Abra and Lawag rivers, the world-class debris flows in Gabaldon, Nueva Ecija during typhoons Lando and Nona, floods from super typhoons Karen and Lawin, and more recently, the hazards carried by Typhoon Nina, which barreled through the southern part of Luzon.
So it was 2012, early part of August, nung nagsimulang bumagsak ang malakas na ulan dito po sa lungsod ng Marikina at sa paligid. So, we are fortunate dahil during the time ay ang Project NOAA ay existing na. Do palagay ko it's still in its early stage of development, pero sa Marikina we have access to it. Kaya nagamit namin in real time. So we are armed with the information. Project NOAA is our lifeboat in the city of Marikina. Project NOAA can be an ark for all Filipinos in our country.
Ang Marikina ang isa sa mga unang nakinabang sa Project NOAA kasi kami ang unang tinuruan kung paano gamitin yung website or yung application. So, dahil doon, malaki ang natulong nito kasi lalo na sa pag-ensure ng zero casualties. Hindi lang nung Habagat 2012, kundi pati sa mga sumunod nung 2013 at 2014.
When Typhoon Pablo was predicted to pass the area of Cagayan de Oro on December 4, 2012, we were actually prepared because Project NOAA had already been established and that it was providing timely information to all the LGUs in the path of the typhoon. About 2 hours before the flash flood reached Cagayan de Oro, we already had advance information from Project NOAA, allowing our LGU leaders to demand a forced evacuation of the low-lying areas in Cagayan de Oro. And that is why we're proud to say that during Typhoon Pablo's wake, Project NOAA was instrumental in resulting a zero casualty rate for Cagayan de Oro. In behalf of the Cagayan de Oro business community and its leaders, we would like to thank the University of the Philippines for taking on Project NOAA. This is a very important tool by which many LGUs will be able to provide timely information that will mitigate disaster in times of typhoon and other calamities.
Silito Mercado, DRRF officer ng Kapira. Tapos pinakita namin sa kanila kung ano ang sitwasyon ng possible situation na mangyari. In-emphasize namin yung storm surge dahil sa actual na pagtakbo ng kami talaga ang center. Ako yung bagyo talaga ang center. So, Thursday, ng tanghali, wala na talagang tao sa coastal area namin. Evacuate na namin lahat.
Bakit po?
Dahil sa storm surge, dahil kami ang sentro eh.
Saan niyo po nakuha yung informasyon na yun?
Sa NOAA. Sa NOAA kasi palagi namin tinututukan yun eh.
Also, Project NOAA is a project or a part of the government that has very, very high capacity in terms of producing hazard maps at very high resolution, or resolutions that have not been shared, for example, with these LGUs before. Considering what happened with Yolanda, we thought it was very important to partner with an agency such as Project NOAA in order to work with these LGUs to improve their DRM systems.
When Typhoon Haiyan happened, there was a great need for high resolution, accurate, and open and very accessible geohazard data, because such precise information and such open information was necessary in making the recovery, reconstruction, and rehabilitation plans. Project NOAA immediately sent us the teams on the ground, both the PDF and the GIS files. Hence, it helped the local governments and communities understand their risks and vulnerabilities better. It helped the stakeholders identify the geographical implications of the projects on recovery, rehabilitation, and reconstruction, since people wanted to build back better. In fact, in D1, after all of the mapping using the NOAA data and other geospatial data from other government agencies, the evacuations were guided during the preparations for Typhoon Ruby, which happened a year after. I believe that by having high-resolution data sets from NOAA, which were integrated in local maps and plans, that contributed to the zero casualty of Giwan and Typhoon Ruby, which happened in 2014. I really recommend Project NOAA and the use of their data for other municipalities because of the reasons I stated, because the data is open, because the data is accurate, data is in high resolution, and data is accessible. NOAA goes from making maps for people, they go beyond that to helping people have access to the maps, not only to PDF and printed maps, but also the open format GIS files. And finally, they go beyond that to enable people make the map themselves and help people become agents of their own recovery.
Nung hagupit po, paano po umabot sa inyo yung balita na magkakaroon ng storm surge?
Actually, tinignan namin sa computer dun sa internet yung report ng Project NOAA.
So may internet pa kayo at that time kasi ganong kaaga po? Isang araw, dalawang araw?
Dalawang araw po yun. Na may posibleng magkaroon ng storm surge.
Meron po bang bukod dun sa listahan, may tinignan pa kayo, may mapa ba na kayo nakita? Ano po ba ang nangyari? Nailigis yung mga tao?
Yung ginawa kasi namin, mayroon silang evacuation management plan. So once BDR is alerted them to do preemptive evacuation, they follow. Salamat sa Project NOAA kasi malaking tulong para sa amin.
Typhoon Agaton has caused one of the worst floods in the history of Butuan. Tumagal po ng mahigit 2 linggo ang pinsalang idinulot ng bagyo. Isa ito sa pinakamataas na flood level sa Agusan River na umabot sa 4.2 meters. 112,000 po katao, or about 22,000 families, ang lumikas at nailikas doon sa mga itinalagang disaster evacuation sites. Wala pong namatay as a direct result of the calamity. Ito po ay dahil sa readiness ng city government. Isang linggo bago nangyari ang baha, we were already warned by Project NOAA about the big flood coming our way.
Nagpasalamat kami sa yung website ng Project NOAA. Malaking tulong po. Siguro po during that type of scenario, without information, probably siguro yung devastation might be of greater scale po dito sa Tabuan.
Ang Project NOAA po ay hindi kami iniwanan. Sinamahan po nila kami sa loob ng event ng bagyuhang ito. Siya po ang kasama namin at yun po ay lubhang nakatulong at sa totoo lang po, ito po ay siyang tinuturing namin isa sa mga nakapagligtas ng mga tao dito sa amin. Dumaan po ang bagyong Lando at Nona. Awa po ng Diyos, wala pong kaming naging casualties, wala kaming namatay na tao, walang mga buhay na nabuwis po sa mga bagyong ito.
Since 2012, Project NOAA has been working to improve the Filipino people's capacity to prepare against disasters. It does this by undertaking advanced multidisciplinary research and assessment of natural hazards. Project NOAA translates scientific information into simple, accessible, and straightforward tools that enable local government units, community leaders, policymakers, and other stakeholders to prevent and mitigate disasters. An important part of Project NOAA's work is the enhancement of existing geohazard maps. Now rendered in high resolution up to the barangay level, communities like those in Eastern Samar have a better opportunity to understand and assess the potential hazards they may experience.
Talaga napakahalaga talaga sa buhay namin. Kaya gustong-gusto ko talaga itong naka-attend ako. Natutuwa talaga ako dahil nalaman ko talaga ito sa katotohanan at hindi lang ala-alang na sa mga tao. Maghahanda na talaga ako at sa mga katauhan namin sa barangay. Gagawin ko na talaga ang lahat dahil alam ko na kung paano kami lilikas kung may darating na mga disaster.
With the integration of the UP NOAA Center, the UP Resilience Institute has been revitalized and will definitely provide sustainable solutions toward a disaster-resilient Philippines, not only through science and technology, but arts and humanities as well.